Good morning. Today we are working on 7.3 with rational exponents. The homework today is actually page 410, numbers 17 through 32, but I took those problems and turned them into a worksheet for us, so that way it would be a little bit easier and we didn't have to worry about having our book. So just like we learned in class, we're going to be taking terms that have exponents that are fractions, or maybe that have a radical symbol, that square root or cubed root or whatever root symbol, and we're going to be changing them back and forth. So if we ever see a term with 1/2 as the exponent, that just means that we're taking the square root of that number. So for this one, it's going to be 15, and we're taking the square root of that. That is the same as 15 to the 1/2. So same thing here, 24 to square root of 24 is the same thing as 24 to the 1/2 power. Now when we look at 19, it's a little bit different. That 1/2 exponent is only on the k, so for our answer, we're not going to do anything with the 4 because there's no radical or no fraction exponent there. It's only the k, so it's going to be 4 square root k. Now on number 20, because the 12y is in parentheses, and then we have that fraction exponent on the outside, everything that's in those parentheses is going to be under that radical symbol. So we have square root of 12y. All right, so now this next row we're going to do just the opposite of what we did here. If we have a square root symbol, that means we're going to have that number to the 1/2 power. Same thing with 44, it's going to be 44 to the 1/2 power. On this one, this is very similar to the problem that we have above it. So the 2 is not included with that fractional exponent, so we're just going to leave the 2 alone. And because only part of this term is under the radical symbol, we're going to use parentheses in this case because there's 2 items here. So we're going to include A, B. And because they're under a square root symbol, they're raised to the 1/2 power. Now this one, we have 4 terms underneath that radical symbol. So all 4 terms are going to go in parentheses. We have 3x, y, z, all raised to the 1/2. Looking at numbers 25 through 32 on these, we need to find the actual answers for this. So we need to figure out what the cubed root of 8 is. So if you have your calculator, depending on which calculator you have, and every one of them is a little bit differently, you are looking for a button that looks something like this. It has an X where the index is at, so where that 3 is at, it has an X, and that's the button you're going to want to use. So to do this, using this particular calculator, I'm going to push 3, the second button, and then it's this caret button is the one that has the X. And you can see that's what the button looks like. And then whatever is under the radical symbol, in this case is an 8, and I'm going to hit equals. And so my answer is going to be 2. Next up, we have 5, the 5th root of 1024. So 5, I'm going to hit the caret button, and I'm going to put 1024 underneath my radical symbol, and I'm going to get the answer of 4. I shift to this side. Our next one, we have a cubed root again, so I'm going to hit that button, 216, and this answer is 6. Our next one, we have a 4th root, so same button, we just put whatever number is in the index position, we're going to put that in the calculator first, and then we put in the number 10,000, so it's a 1 with 4 zeros, and we come up with 10. Moving on to number 29, we have the same type of problem. So I have the cubed root of 1,000th. So I have 0.001, and that ends up being 1/10. Looking at our next one, we have a fraction. Now all this really is taking the 4th root of the top number and the 4th root of the bottom number. That's all it is. So if you don't have to put it in as a fraction. It's easy if you do because the calculator is doing the work for you. But if you want to do the 4th root of 16, the 4th root of 81 and get your answer, that'll work as well. but I am going to put it in as a fraction. So I have the fourth root of, it's 16, I'm going to hit my ABC button to make the fraction, over 81. And when I hit equals, it calculates it for me. It's 2 over 3. Again, if you wanted to do the fourth root of 16, you would have got 2. And if you have done the fourth root of 81, you would have got 3. And you would just keep writing it as a fraction. All right, moving on to the next one. Now, this one they did not write like this, but we know from looking up above that this means that we are writing it as a cubed root. So this is really the cubed root of 1331. Okay, these are identical. So I'm going to put that into my calculator, cubed root of 1331, and I get 11. Same thing here, because we have a 1 on top and a 6 on bottom. This is the same as the sixth root of 64. So that bottom number just tells us our index. So I can plug that in the calculator, sixth root of 64, and that is going to give me 2. And that is all we have for today, folks. Let us know if we can help you if you have any questions.